The build up to the release of this album has been filled with a lot of emotions, clout, controversies, and criticism. And finally, the highly anticipated album is out. For me, the album has been on repeat since it dropped. I wanted to feel all the emotions in the album. I had to play it multiple times from track 1 to 15. And at a point, I even felt like, leaving it on shuffle and just enjoying the entire body of the album before giving it my take. So, I'll start by saying this album does not completely give you a feel good vibe as a Nigerian album would usually give. So, I'll be rating this album on four major factors: the production, the melody, delivery, and the lyrics on each record. I call that the Trinity. And the third factor would be the cohesiveness of the album. And then, in addition, we'll probably discuss, how the PR of this album, the promotion of this album, affected the listening experience. So let's get right into it. The first factor is production. Personally, I'm a whore for production. So whenever I begin, an album experience, the first thing I pay attention to is obviously the production, right? And that's why I F with, songs like On Form on this album, songs like Cheat on Me and City Boys. Most of the hip hop influence songs on this album, you can really hear that New Orleans bounce element and the heavy bass tune. You can hear that in most of the records. And when I say the records, I mean most of the hip hop influenced records, right? I wasn't surprised about the quality of the production really, because if you're going to tilt towards a hip hop project, then you better come correct with the production and engineering. And Burna Boy did just that. And by the way, Burna Boy is an A-list artist, so he knows the importance of a great production in an album. Because come on, man, if I'm listening to your album and the production is not nice, I don't care what you're singing, I don't care about the lyrics, I don't care about the melodies, I don't care about none of that. If the production is whack, the record is whack. And so far, I said the production on the I Told Them album is top notch. It's definitely up there. Now let's talk about the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity, as you know it, is the delivery, melody, and lyrics. See, at this point, I don't think anyone still really doubts Burna Boy's delivery anymore. The evidence is in, most of the songs that he's done prior to this album. And even in this album, you can see a lot of evidence with his delivery when you listen to songs like City Boys, when you listen to The Play, when you listen to On Form, and a lot more records in this album. You can see that Burna Boy was very intentional with his delivery, the way he bounces around on the beat, the way he flows with the beat. It's really just easy for him. That is all I can say. The way he even entered On Form, that record On Form, was another amazing moment for me. That song is going to do really well. And there are a lot of other songs too that they bop, like when you hear them, yes, this guy they work. We just talked about his delivery. Now we're talking about the lyrics. I hear a lot of anger and spite and a little bit of love in most of the lyrics. And to be honest, I can't fault him for that, because creatives are mostly encouraged to express their emotions, especially in their projects. Where else are they going to express it? The only way to express yourself is on your project. If you're an artist, if you're drawing, then draw everything when you draw the anger come out. If you sing, do the same thing. And for Burna Boy, he's a singer, he's an artist. So this is the way he knows how to express himself more, whether be it is angry or he's happy or whatever. And in this project, like I said, I'm hearing a lot of anger, I'm hearing a lot of spite. I mean, from lyrics like, "Is this the motherfucking times I get for making my people proud every chance I get?" From delivering that epic lyrics on track 14 to delivering an epic performance in track 1 as well, which is the opening track where he went, "I told them I'm a giant, a real African giant, self-confident, self-reliant." If I enter studio, I go flop Burna Boy, bro. On another hear my voice. Then I think there were other, lyrical moments as the album progresses towards the end. And then finally, we have the cohesiveness of the album. So the album has a strong opening song, a decent delivery as well. The delivery of I Told Them, which is the opening track, definitely set, a specific tone for the entire album. So overall, nothing was really off with the main body of work. Great transition, by the way, from most of the tracks. I love the transition from track 3 to track 4. I'm guessing that's from On Form to Sitting on Top of the World. To be honest, I don't like Sitting on Top of the World. I think it's just below the belt record. Great production, by the way, but I just love the transition, the way On Form ended and the way Sitting on Top of the World started. That was a great transition. So for that, I'll give him a thumbs up for the way the album was arranged, and also how he went from Vigil's tribute on track 7 to also referring to Vigil on track 8. You could see that, everything was intentional. It was planned for the track 7 to be there. And after that, after Vigil talks, then Burna Boy comes and sings about Vigil and paying tribute to him and paying respect to him. The only part I think I have a problem with was the last track on the album. I don't know, personally, because we've heard that track before. I was expecting something new to be there. If you're closing an album, you should have something new there. Most people tend to put like bonus track at the very bottom, but why do you want to do that when people have heard it? You know what's going to happen? A lot of people would just keep that track because they've heard it. I would have enjoyed it more if I had a different closing track rather than Taliban 2. Not to say Taliban 2 is not a great song, it's a great song. I just felt like a different track would have been great there. We've come to the end of the album review. I'd say I told them it's not Burna Boy's best work. Twice as Tall is easily better, but we cannot deny that I Told Them has a triumphant story. So, from my assessment and the fact that Burna Boy sampled at least 5 records on this album, I'll give the album a 7 over 10. He sampled Sitting on Top of the World, City Boys, Cheat on Me, On Form, and he also sampled Big 7. The album is not a hip hop album as they try to sell it to us. The album has an element of hip hop, dancehall, and Afrobeat. So these 3 genres are the most outstanding influence in the album. So it's actually Afrofusion, like Burna Boy rightly said, which in turns makes the album an Afrobeats album. To be honest, yeah. The funny thing is, it's not the first time an Afrobeat artist is infusing other sounds with Afrobeat sounds. So, as a matter of fact, artists have been infusing music from different genre since only God knows when. But what we can trace to Burna Boy is that he named the practice of infusing multiple sounds as Afrofusion. And I find it fascinating, and sincerely, I think that, we should give credit to Burna Boy for that only. Like being able to name that act, that practice. Like we know what fusion is. Everyone knows what fusion is. But to be able to come up with that name, Afrofusion, to put an identity to it, that is what Burna Boy has successfully done. So if you ask me, let's just give him credit for that. For instance, it's like we can't track back who named Afrobeats. So if Burna Boy is fighting to be recognized as the person who named the act of infusing other genres to Afrobeat, then I guess just give him that. If we not agree to give him, then this fight not go end though, because Burna Boy looks like now he's about to take the fight on everybody in Africa. You must give me. So listen, guys, just let it go. It's what it is. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to share.